Okay, let's untangle a story that sits right at the intersection of global finance, cutting-edge crypto, and, yep, the White House. What's at the heart of it all? A multi-billion-dollar deal, a really surprising national security decision, and one very, very big question that connects them.
All right, so here's the puzzle we're going to piece together today. You've got a family with, let's say, some serious political connections. Then you have a massive $2 billion investment in their crypto firm from a foreign power. And then a sudden U-turn on U.S. policy involving a pretty sensitive national security issue. So how on earth do these three pieces fit together?
First up, let's meet the key player, World Liberty Financial, or WLF for short. It's what's known as a decentralized finance company, which basically means it's using crypto tech to build a financial system outside of the traditional banks. Its co-founders? They include members of the Trump family. And get this, after their crypto token launched, the family's stake was valued at an estimated $5 billion.
Next, let's follow the money, shall we? WLF gets a $2 billion investment from a firm called MGX. Now, MGX is controlled by a really powerful member of the UAE's ruling family, Sheikh Tahnoon bin Zayed Al Nahyan. Think about it. That's a massive cash injection for WLF.
And then, almost right after this investment, we see this major policy shift. The Trump administration gives the green light for the sale of advanced American AI chips to another company, also controlled by Sheikh Tahnoon. This was a huge deal, a complete 180. Before this, these kinds of sales were blocked because of national security fears that the tech could end up in China's hands.
Now, to really get why that $2 billion deal is so significant, we need to understand the technology powering it. So let's hit pause for a second and talk about the actual engine driving this whole story: stablecoins.
You know how crypto prices can go on a wild roller coaster ride? Well, in that crazy world, a stablecoin is designed to be the exact opposite of that. It's a digital currency built to be, well, stable, and it does this by pegging its value to a real-world asset, usually the good old US dollar. The whole idea is to get the cool parts of crypto, like speed and low fees, without all the insane price swings. But, and this is important, not all stablecoins are created equal. You've basically got two main flavors. On one hand, you've got fiat-backed stablecoins, just like WLFI USD1. This means for every single digital token out there, there's a real dollar's worth of assets, like actual cash, held safely in reserve. And then on the other hand, you have algorithmic stablecoins. These use super complex code to maintain their price. And that model, man, it can be incredibly risky. Just look at the catastrophic $18 billion collapse of Terra USD. So why should you even care about any of this? Well, the promise of stablecoins is actually huge. I mean, they could make global payments happen almost instantly, cutting out the slow, expensive banks in the middle. And maybe the biggest promise here is that they could open up the global economy for the 1.4 billion adults around the world who don't even have a bank account.
This explosion in new financial tech didn't just happen in a vacuum. It was really made possible because of this, well, seismic shift in the regulatory world, a super fast revolution in how Washington decided to deal with crypto.
Just look at the timeline here. It's pretty incredible how fast this all went down. In July of 2025, the president announces Project Crypto, with the goal of making America the crypto capital of the world. By September, regulators are already working to get on the same page. In November, the SEC chair lays out a new, much friendlier framework for crypto, and all of that leads just a few months later to a landmark piece of legislation for stablecoins, the Genius Act.
And this quote right here, this is a huge deal. This one statement from SEC Chair Paul Atkins was a game-changing pivot from how the previous administration saw things. By just saying that most tokens aren't securities, the SEC basically threw open the doors for a whole new class of digital assets to operate with way more freedom and clarity.
So the Genius Act came in and put some real rules of the road in place. It created a brand new legal category just for stablecoin issuers. It let both traditional banks and approved fintech companies get in on the action. And crucially, it required that safe one-to-one backing with high-quality assets that we were just talking about. Basically, it created clear paths for companies to get licensed and become legitimate.
So, you've got this brand new crypto-friendly playground, right? And it sets the stage perfectly for a new player to just come in and grow at lightning speed. And that brings us right back to the story of World Liberty Financial.
And the result? Absolutely staggering. In its very first year, WLF stablecoin USD1 just exploded to a market cap of over $3.3 billion. That officially made it the fastest-growing stablecoin in history. So what was the secret sauce? What made USD1 so attractive, so fast? Well, For the big money, the institutional investors, it basically ticked all the right boxes. It was a fiat-backed coin, pegged 1-to-1 to the dollar. Its reserves were super conservative, just cash and safe, short-term U.S. treasuries. And critically, those reserves were held by BitGo, a regulated U.S. company. It was designed from day one to be perfectly compliant with the new Genius Act.
You can really see WLF had this clear three-step playbook. Step 1. Launch a totally compliant stablecoin aimed squarely at big money investors. Step 2. Lock in major partnerships to prove it's the real deal, like that $2 billion deal between MGX and the crypto exchange Binance. And finally, Step 3, the endgame. Apply for a national trust bank charter, which would put it on the same level as some of the oldest, most trusted financial institutions in the country.
And that right there brings us full circle. Back to that collision course where this shiny new world of financial innovation smacks right into the old guard of foreign policy and national security. And as you can imagine, it raises some really tough questions.
So this is the fundamental question, isn't it? Where exactly do you draw the line between a government trying to push forward innovative public policy and the officials behind that policy potentially cashing in through their own private financial interests?
Let's just quickly connect the dots that are raising all the red flags. You've got the Trump family's multi-billion-dollar stake in WLF. The key investor is a firm from the UAE controlled by Sheikh Tahnoon. That same sheikh also controls the company that got the approval for that sensitive AI chip sale from the Trump administration. And on top of all that, sources report that several administration officials involved had ties to both WLF and that chip deal.
Yeah, so this whole combination of events, it definitely did not go unnoticed in Washington. It led to a very direct, very forceful response from members of the U.S. Senate Banking Committee. They issued this public call for the Trump family to sell their stake in the company, citing what they see as clear conflicts of interest and, quote, to ensure the White House is not for sale.
And that leaves us right here, with this final and I think critical question. This whole situation really shines a light on a new frontier, where finance, foreign policy, and family politics are all starting to merge on the blockchain. And as these worlds get more and more tangled up, it really forces us to ask, in this new digital age, who exactly is supposed to be guarding the public trust?